Hey guys, Chris with Half Chrome. I'm kind of excited today. I've got a really nice case for you. This one is from Go Professional Cases. It's for the Mavic 2 drones, Pro or Zoom version. And today I'm going to put it to the test. It's qualified to all these different mil specs. One of the things I'm most interested in is its ability to be submerged underwater. Also, I've got some of my other instruments of torture here, so we're going to put it to the test, see what it can do. Also, I'm going to go through what I can get in here and how I'm packing my kit, my Mavic 2 kit, into this really nice looking case. We're going to find out how nice it really is when I come right back. Hey guys, a quick interruption to this video. I just wanted to let you know that Jack and I, the team here at Half Chrome, we're going to start making some videos for the Drone DJ. The Drone DJ has a new and growing YouTube channel. If you enjoy watching us here, you're going to enjoy watching us there as well. And we're going to do even better stuff in the future. So make sure you subscribe to the Drone DJ channel. Now back to this video. So here at Half Chrome, we've gotten a lot of cases in the past. We tend to be big fans of this kind of case here. It's a lot more solid, gives your drone a lot more packing. This one here, I think, for the original Mavic Pro. A lot of the same features you're going to get. This one, I think, from Hobby Tiger. And you get the inserts, you get a zippy pouch, that kind of stuff. The parts do tend to rattle around a bit because you don't have foam packing, but certainly a lot more protected and secure than you have with the bags provided by DJI. So why would you need something like this? Well, it is obviously a ton more durable. You're not going to be standing on that other bag. I'm going to see if I can stand on this guy. But other than that, it's really the waterproofing that excites me about this. I've taken my drone on a boat, and even with that other case, you know, what happens if it gets wet? Where are you going to put the thing when you're driving around? You tend to put it in some kind of storage area that looks like it could get wet. So you end up putting it in a garbage bag. It's very kludgy, does not look professional at all. You're going to want something with some weather protection, some waterproofing. So before we get started, let me tell you about all the tests we're going to do. First up, I'm going to dunk this guy in the old fish tank. It's going to be submerged, even though it really wouldn't get submerged, and I'll talk more about that. In reality, you don't have to worry about this guy sinking. It's going to float wherever you'd happen to drop it in the water if you were to do that. Next up, we're going to pile some pounds on this dude. I'm just going to stand on it. We're going to call it the 200-pound test and see how it holds up. Next, we're going to put some weight in there. My kit only weighs about 5 pounds. I'm going to load test it. I'm going to put 50 pounds in there, see if this handle can take it. Finally, if it survives all that, I think I'm going to get a little crazy. I'm going to try a 1 meter drop test onto some nice hard plywood. I don't think I'm going to put my Mavic in there for that, but we're going to see if the case survives. Personally, I don't think it's going to have any trouble with that, assuming it will bear my weight. Before we do all those tests, let's take a look at what I'm packing inside here. Alright, so unfortunately Jack has the extra 2 batteries, but what I want to show here is you can get the entire drone package in addition to a few other things in here. I've got the Fly More kit in here as well. It's 2 extra batteries. And I've got a mount for an iPad, as well as a little hidden secret I'll get to in a minute. I've also got the car charger, which is important, and the original charger and the multi-charging station as well. So all that is in here. So these compartments here are multi-purpose. You can get up to 4 extra batteries plus the one in the drone, so I'm only showing the capacity of 3 batteries here. I'm using these other compartments for some other things. Before I get to that, let's take a look. We've got the multi-charger. Under here, I'm actually storing a cable that's really intended for this pouch, but this pouch right now, I'm using the car charger. I've got the regular charger here. There is a slot here for memory cards. I don't recommend you drop your memory cards in there unless you have the Go Professional memory card case, which this is really designed for. I don't have one of those yet. I'd like to get one. Looks pretty nice. You drop them in as is in here. You're going to lose them down there. You're going to be having some hard time fishing them out. Of course, the remote. Don't have to take the sticks off. That saves you maybe 30 seconds, maybe 10 seconds getting this thing up in the air. Got the drone, of course. And in here, this little extra pocket is designed for a portion of what they call the Mav mount. Now that's a brand name for a tablet or phone mount for your controller. Now I don't have that particular mount, so I'm using that for props. It fits fits props beautifully. I wouldn't recommend putting anything metal in there. So plastic props seem nice and safe. Why no metal? Well, I don't want anything scratching up the plethora of sensors and LEDs on the bottom of this guy. Okay, clearly we've got the 2 batteries, and what is all this other stuff going on? We've got a little accessory pouch. It kind of nicely holds this little USB charger. You could get something else in there as well. But here is the tablet mount that I have. This particular tablet mount is from Freewell. I've got another one from Freewell here. This is their more up-to-date one. This one's actually a little bit bigger and will not fit in there. However, I checked, this one is available on Amazon. I think it's about 20-30 bucks, so not a bad deal. So how I'm getting it in there is I've got this piece. This is the expander piece. Fits around your tablet. Here is the part that simulates your phone, sits in between the clamps of the remote. And then there's one more bit here, this little ball mount. So it's going to take a little time to get it looking like this and getting your tablet mounted. Bit of an ordeal. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that much. Now if you do get the Mav mount brand, you don't have to take apart this part. It all fits in here nicely. I think it actually would fit, but I wanted to leave space for this. Now this part on the Mav mount would be where the props are under the drone. Personally, you could go for that brand. I already have this, so I wasn't going to buy one. But that mount's like half as wide as this, so I don't know how stable the tablet's really going to be. So I'm going to probably just stick with this one, but it does take up a little more space, but it's not really wasted space at the end of the day. I did remove some optional inserts, and you can use this spot for a 5th battery as well. And even though I've removed that, it is perfectly safe in my opinion just to drop the battery in there if you want to switch it up a little bit. Alright, so you might think that is it, but it's not. We've got some handles here that lifts up, and you can get a full-size iPad. If you do want to get something else in there, mini iPad or a oversized cell phone, like plus-size cell phone, you got these little inserts you can drop in there. And I did check, all these inserts do fit with a case, standard size cases, so there's a little extra room there. You can take this out, and you might think you would want to put the tablet on top. It doesn't really work out so well. All the unevenness on the top with all the different things sticking up is really absorbed by this. With this on top, it doesn't work so well. So tablet goes underneath. So that's what I got in here, but you guys probably want to see if this case really holds up. So we're going to get to testing it. So my entire kit, this whole setup here weighs about 6 pounds extra on top of the weight of the case. So what I'm going to do is, first thing I want to know, is this thing going to float? I'm just going to prove that. I did the math already, but I'm going to show it to you right now. Instead of throwing in 6 pounds, I'm going to throw in 16, a little bit extra. You can see that pretty much whatever you stack in here, I've got these super manly 3-pound weights, as well as 10-pound plate here. I'm just going to throw it in. We'll take it over to the fish tank and see if it floats. So now we know that it floats. Let's take out this weight. Let's sink this guy. Did a little bit of math. Should take about 35 pounds to get this guy underwater, even though that really never should happen. But we're going to really put it to the test. We're going to see if this IP67 filter here and the seal around the lid really keep the water out if this thing is submerged for any amount of time underwater. 25, 35. Quick explainer on what IP67 means. The first number, the 6, means it's dust proof. No dust will get inside of here. I'm not going to test that. I don't have a dust chamber. But I think if water stays out, pretty sure dust will too. It has this little vent here. Now why do you need the vent? Because if you don't have it and this thing gets hot, or you go up in an airplane from sea level up to 8,000 feet, it would explode probably. So it's not rated to hold all that pressure. It's not a pressure chamber. So what they do is they add in an air vent here, but that thing also has to keep out the dust and the water. The 7 in IP67 means you can submerge this to 1 meter. I'm not going to submerge it to 1 meter today. I'm going to submerge it to more like a foot, but good enough. Again, this thing shouldn't be going actually underwater. It should float. So without further ado, let's get this thing underwater and see what happens. I'm going to keep it under there for about 20 minutes. 35 pounds. Here we go. As predicted, it's just enough to sink this thing. Before I open that up, I'm going to rinse it off. It'll be a little fishy. So this time I didn't dry it off, but I did rinse it off as I mentioned. I don't want it to be too fishy. So let's open it up. Let's see if any water got in. Okay, so as I look around the seal, I do see water, but it's on the outside of the little sealing ridge there. Looks like none of it got in. Now if it does get wet like this, be a little careful because obviously the case is wet. You probably do want to dry it off first, but I'm looking in here and I'm not seeing any water anywhere. I'd call that a success. First test passed. Let's see if I can put 50 pounds in there and not break this thing. £50. Your drone weighs about 5, all loaded, all the extra batteries and stuff. It's a little bit more than we need in there. As you can see, it does just fine. They rattle around a little bit in there if I move it around, but the handle holds up nice and sturdy. Let's stand on this thing now. All right, here we go. 200 pounds-ish, rounding down. What the heck? I'm feeling good. Let's go for 250. So it passes the standing test, it passes the water test, it passes the weight test. Let's do one more thing. Let's drop it. I'm not going to drop it with my Mavic in there. If you want to send me your Mavic too, I'd be happy to drop it in the case. But as for now, I'm just going to put 5 pounds in there, pack it up in a little foam, and see if the case survives, not the drone. Yeah, send me your drone, be happy to drop it. Ready to drop. Here goes nothing. Eesh. That seems violent. Edge test. The dreaded corner drop. Let's open it up, see how we did. So I was cheating a little bit. I did have this piece of plywood on 2 layers of carpet. Honestly, that was mostly out of convenience than anything. I didn't want to drop it directly on the floor for the floor's sake, and this carpet's kind of pinned down at the moment. So anyway, is what it is. Let's see what happens when I open it up. 5 pound weight. Everything on the inside looks great. It's a little shiny right there. A couple little shiny spots. All the hinges, all the clasps, everything still works. Seems like it should. Plywood definitely took a worse beating than the case itself. So that was exciting. As you can see, this case did extremely well. It passed all our tests: weight, standing on it, water test, and the 1 meter drop test, which seems good enough to me. I'm sold. I'm going to be taking this thing. I'm most excited for boating situations where I don't need to worry about my drone getting wet. I could even throw it in the water and it'll float until I can go grab it and pull it out. This thing is a win, guys. Pick it up. It's just over $100, which isn't that bad for protecting your $1,500 investment. I think it's a good deal. Go grab yourself a case. We've got links to this product and more in our description. Make sure you check that out. Support the channel by subscribing, if you will, please. We've got more videos like this and more videos coming up soon. Also, make sure you check us out at halfchrome.com. As for now, I'm going to get this thing out on the boat, safely protected in my Go Professional case. We'll see you guys next time.